Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Wet Shaving with Angelo. I'm Angelo, and today's gonna be a good day and a good shave. And today's video may go a little bit longer than usual because a few days ago I gave a good friend of mine, Ty Kier, or Ty Bright as I know him. I gave Ty a starter wet shaver kit consisting of several Razor Rock soaps, aftershaves, a PA brush, a PA shave soap and aftershave set, various blades, a vintage Gillette black tip super speed, and various other things. So today's video is a how-to wet shave with a safety razor. And you're gonna need a few things to get started when you decide you want to start wet shaving. First off, if it's double-edged blades, you want to buy a sampler pack of a variety of different brands and makes and models of double-edged blades. Because just because I say a blade is working great for me, doesn't mean it's going to work great for you, and vice versa. Like your best blade may be my terrible blade, and my best blade may be your terrible blade. So you have to experiment with different brands of blades to see how they work in your current razor. Next thing you're going to need is a double-edged safety razor. Now, a fair warning, in the wet shaving community, once you get the hang of wet shaving, it becomes a full-blown hobby where you're buying more soaps, more aftershaves, more razors, and I've fallen into that rabbit hole very deep. And today's razor, I just got this the other day, is a Gillette Flare Tip Rocket made in England. The seller says it's from 1965, but I'm not 100% certain on that because the UK date codes aren't exactly the same as the US date codes. But this is a flare tip rocket razor from Gillette. And the rockets that Gillette made in England were basically the British version of the American style super speeds. So if you have a twist open razor, all you have to do to open the razor is twist the knob at the bottom, butterfly doors open, and let's see if I can get the picture of and the blade in there is a Shark Super Chrome. I'm really liking the Super Chrome blades of Shark. They're a little bit sharper than the stainless steel version, but they get the job done. So you're going to need a double-edged razor, a variety of sample pack of blades. You're going to need a shave brush. Now, there's different types of hairs of shave brushes. I prefer synthetic over anything else most of the time. But there's also boar, there's different grades of badger, there's horsehair. So it's up to you what your budget is and what you're willing to spend on a brush. This is Phoenix Arts and Accoutrements' Peregrino 24mm synthetic shave brush. I really like this brush. It's a good start. I think it's a good starter brush at $20. So that's going to be the brush I'm going to be using. Soap and aftershave of choice. A lot of wet shavers have started with this brand, and I actually didn't get into this till 6 months into my wet shaving life. Parasso. More importantly, Parasso Red, which is the sandalwood scented shave soap, along with the matching sandalwood scented Parasso aftershave. For many wet shavers, both newbies and experienced wet shavers alike, a lot of us love the Parasso brand because the soap is like $10 for what is it? For a 5.2 ounce tub that lasts literally months on end of daily use. And there's different styles of Parasso shave soaps out there. There's the red version, which is sandalwood, the green version, which is menthol eucalyptus, and the white version, which is unscented and designed for sensitive skin. So you're gonna need those things, and also you're gonna need a styptic pencil or an alum block, your choice. Which is styptic pencil or alum block is used is used to stop bleeding from small cuts and nicks. You run a little cold water on the styptic pencil, you rub it on or alum block, and you rub it on your open wound or cut, and it stops the bleeding immediately. So now, how do you wet shave? I recommend that you take a warm shower before shaving. But if you don't have the time for a warm shower, you can take a face cloth or a small towel, run hot water on it, hold it on your face for 2 minutes, and it'll soften the whiskers. Some wet shavers will say they like a cold shave. You can try that later on, but start off with a hot shave or hot water, hot shower, because The warm water from the hot shower will soften your whiskers and make them easier to cut with the razor. So I already have my hot shower, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to splash some warm water on my face, and I'm going to run warm water on my synthetic shave brush and start lathering for my first of 3 passes. And I do 3 passes. If you're just starting out, just do 2 passes. First pass is always with the grain. Second pass is across the grain. Then the third and final pass is against the grain. So we're going to start with the first pass with the grain. So how's everyone doing today? And Ty, I hope you're doing good. I hope you enjoyed the set I gave you. The gift kit. And some people say start with a slightly damp brush. I like to have a more watery or wet brush to lather on my shave soaps. It's a YMMV situation. Your mileage may vary. If you like wet brushes, that's fine. If you like just a slightly damp brush, that's fine. But I always shake a little bit of water excess out of my brush before lathering my soap. And you just start lathering. Making a mess. Sorry. But you go in clockwise and counterclockwise motions. At first, you'll see a lot of loose, sloppy lather with big bubbles. What you're looking for is a creamy, yogurty-like consistency of the lather with very small, microscopic bubbles. If there's large bubbles in the lather, it usually means you added too much water too fast, and you have to work it in a little more. A creamy, yogurty lather is very slick, very protective, and very helpful. And look at that beautiful lather. And now we're going to apply it to our face. Some say do paint strokes, like paintbrush strokes. Others say do circular motions. I do a mix of the two. Like I'll start with circular motions, and then I'll do a paint motions afterwards to smooth out the lather. And sometimes lather will be flying everywhere, just so you know ahead of time. Lather will get everywhere if you're not careful. Or if you're just having a good time. Try to wipe up some of this loose lather here. And I like to wipe off the excess lather on my lips. Because we're not shaving the lips, we're shaving the face. And it lets you know where things are. So now we are ready for the first pass with the grain. And what I mean by with the grain is before you shave, take a good close look at your stubble and see how it grows. My stubble tends to grow downwards, but I know some parts of my face have little anomalies. So take a look at your own face and determine how your facial stubble grows in different directions in different parts of your face. So for me, first pass is downwards with the grain. And I forgot to mention, when shaving, use short strokes. Use very light pressure, like just touch the razor on your face, and with maybe a tiny bit more pressure than that. But you don't want to press it deep in your skin. And also, when holding the razor, you want to tilt it slightly, like roughly a 30-degree angle. Although some may say more of an angle, some say less. It all depends on your razor and what you like, what kind of shave you like. If you want a more aggressive shave, then definitely experiment with blade angle, but roughly 30-degree tilting of the razor will give you a good shave. And as you're shaving different parts of your face, Make sure you smooth out any wrinkles or any creases in your face. So you may be puffing your cheeks out or doing like this or whatever. You really want to have a smooth surface when shaving, or at least a smooth skin surface. Sometimes I like to use skin stretching to get a better shave, where I use my other hand to stretch my skin, and it seems to help most of the time. Here I'm using skin stretching to get a better shave going on. It helps lift some of the whiskers or move them around. I find this helps with my neck area. You can experiment with different skin stretching techniques on different parts of your face by grimacing, puffing out your cheeks, or whatever you think is working best for you. And remember, light pressure is key. Because the goal of wet shaving is not complete stubble removal, it's stubble reduction. You'll get rid of your stubble in 2, maybe 3 passes. Some gents like to use more passes than that, like 4 or 5 passes. The most I'll use is 3 passes. And that finishes the first pass that was with the grain. Now, what I do after the first pass, for the second pass, I re-wet my face with warm water. Sometimes I reapply a few drops of warm water on my brush, and I apply this lather for the second pass, which is going to be across the grain. I like to add a little more product or shave soap to my brush after I put a little water in it. Can't hurt anything as long as everything's good. And Parasso is a really good budget Italian soap. On Amazon, you can find these tubs of Parasso for $10 a piece. Some sites charge less than that, like $7 or $8 for a 5.2 ounce tub. I once picked up a green tub of Parasso, full size, at Burlington Factory a few years ago for as little as $3. It was in their clearance skincare. It was in their skincare section, and it was on clearance discount, big old discount sale. Like they were selling it for $3. Well, $3.23 after taxes. But that was like the best score I found at Burlington for shave goods. And I rinse off my hands after every time I lather up my face. I try to wipe off the soap residue on my glasses. If you don't wear glasses, you don't have to worry about this, but I wear glasses when I shave so I can see what I'm doing. And another key to wet shaving is when you want to be in a quiet room, or you want your bathroom to be very quiet. Because when it's quiet, you can hear the stubble being cut by the razor. When it's noisy, it's hard to hear the motion of the shaving, the sound of shaving, and that audible feedback from the razor cutting the stubble very valuable. Use it to your advantage. And if you're looking for, and if you're just thinking of starting wet shaving, you want to know what's a good razor to start with. While I would recommend a vintage Gillette, unless you can find one at a thrift store for a low price, I would say hold off wait till you're used to wet shaving to invest in a vintage Gillette. Although there's nothing wrong with starting with a vintage Gillette. Like I said, I give my buddy Ty a 1951 aluminum black tip super speed by Gillette. And I do recommend, and I do think the vintage Gillettes are really good for starters. But if you're on a budget, sometimes some vintage Gillettes can be way out of price. Although if there were some budget razors from Gillette that I would recommend you a starter pick up, look on eBay for a super speed, either a black handle super speed made from the 60s to the 80s. That's a really good razor. Or if you want one that's all metal, pick up a 40s era super speed or 40s or 50s era super speed. Those can generally like the 40s era super speed, they made millions of them. If you find this dealer that's not too greedy, you can get a good price on one. And you will have to clean it up before using, but that's another day. Anyways, while I do recommend vintage Gillettes, if I had to recommend modern razors to start with, there's so many choices, it's so hard to say anymore. But I would definitely recommend, let's see here, for modern razors I would recommend the Game Changer point with the .84 blade gap from Razor Rock is really a good starter razor, especially if you have tough stubble. The modern day Wilkinson Sword Twist to Open razor is good if you like a long handle razor. That's right up your alley. And the Wilkinson Sword long handle TTO razor is very affordable. At, if I'm not mistaken, under 15 or under $20. Others that I would recommend possibly. Now, a lot of people are going to recommend the Merkur 34C or the Edwin Jagger D89. I've shaved with them. They're good razors. And yeah, I can see where someone would say start with those. But there's so many other razors out there. I would say go into one of the Facebook groups of wet shaving or join a shave forum like theshaveden.com and ask the members there what they would recommend. You'll get a million recommendations, but you'll get a good idea of what to start with. Okay, see I got a few nicks here. And actually, if you're just starting wet shaving and this is going to be your first shave with this double-edged razor, I would say after 2 passes, stop right there. Rinse off your face with cold water and rinse off your shave brush first with warm water, then with cold water and shake it out. Make sure you get all the lather out of your shave brush when you're done shaving. But I would definitely recommend that when you're beginning your wet shaving journey, just do 2 passes with the grain and across the grain. When you're more experienced, you can start doing against the grain pass. And I'm going to stop right here for now, for time's sake. And also because I have a few nicks here and there. And this is like my second time using this Gillette Rocket, but it's a good razor, but very aggressive compared to the American Super Speeds. Actually, not too bad. We're probably just yapping while talking. So let's just say you're starting out and you stop at 2 passes. Next thing you do after you rinse off your shave brush, clean it out real good, and use your stubby pencil to stop any bleeding. And like I just did, I ran cold water on the stubby pencil, rubbed it on my little cuts, and it stopped the bleeding. So now I'm going to rinse my face with cold water because I'll tighten the pores. And it's just very refreshing to use cold water out at the end of a shave. Take a fresh towel, dry it off, dry yourself off. And now you apply a little bit of the aftershave, and you don't need a whole bunch. A few drops is more than enough for a good smell, for a good fragrance, and good care of your skin all day long. And me personally, I like to shake up the bottles of aftershave to mix up the essential oils and ingredients to get an even coating, whatever. I just like shaking them up. Gets especially when you have an aftershave that has multiple scent notes, it mixes them all up evenly. Then you just rub it on your face. You may want to do some patting if you want. And this is the sandalwood scented aftershave by Parasso, just like the shave soap sandalwood scented. I like to do this at the end, lightly. And you're finished shaving. And that's how you wet shave, everybody. I want to wish you all a good day and a good shave. Get your vaccines if you can. I already had my second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. I'm doing great. I want to wish you all a good day and a good shave, everyone. Goodbye.